Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
We went down there to have an impact on the kids, but we weren't ready for the impact we were going to have, it was going to have on us.
Hear about the work former Cardinal Kyle McClellan is doing at home and abroad. Plus,
oh, look at this. You see what we got on here? This is sliced ribeye.
we head into the Cards kitchen to whip up a great sandwich. And later, learn how Whitey Herzog became both manager and GM all at once. Those stories and more on this episode of Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. It's been 10 years since the 2011 Cardinals thrilled the baseball world with an improbable World Series run. St. Louis and Kyle McClellan was on that team and still calls St. Louis home. He and his wife Bridget run Brace for Impact, a charity whose aim is to change lives. Today, we're taking a two-part look at their work, beginning with how it all got started.
We get a lot of questions about our name. When we were trying to figure out the name of the organization and what we wanted to be about, it was coming off the heels of a trip to Haiti. And my wife and I on that trip, we weren't braced for the impact that trip was going to have on us. We went down there to have an impact on the kids, but we weren't ready for the impact it was going to have on us. When it came back, it was like, you know, what can we do that describes who we are and what we want this mission to be? And we just feel like, you know, when you get involved in the projects that we are, you got to be braced for the impact that it can have on you, because it's been life-changing for my wife and I, which is why we do it, and it's what drives us every day, and I think the name reflects that. During my playing days here in St. Louis, my wife and I always wanted to get involved in the community, and I kind of put myself in a bubble when I was playing here, because being from St. Louis and all the distractions that can come with that, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't something that prevented me to be successful in the field. We looked for years while I was playing, but we just couldn't find that right thing that was it that we could jump into. And so Adam Wainwright, a great friend of mine, took a phone call with him in December of 2014, and he said, or 13, and he said, why don't you go on a trip with us to Haiti? My wife and I are getting ready to go over there to see a development that we've been supporting over there, and why don't you guys come with us? So we got down there and knew that's exactly where we needed to be as well. Come from an environment here where we have so many things at our fingertips and so many opportunities that we can utilize and access for our families and for ourselves. And you go down there and you just see the lack of infrastructure. You see the lack of hope, to be honest with you, in some of the situations, and it just rips your heart out. Majority of the people in the world live more like these people do, and it was just eye-opening, because I've never put myself in that type of situation or environment. I was uncomfortable. I was pushing the limits a little bit of seeing things that I've never seen. By doing that, I've grown more as a person because of that than anything I could ever do here. We have a pretty big scope of things that we touch down in Haiti, and it started with a children's home. There's 41 kids that are in this home. That's where we kind of got involved. When we first started, we raised the money for the second level of this children's home because they needed some more room. And initially thought, we'll take this and we'll move somewhere else. We'll go to these impoverished countries and kind of take this model. And we quickly realized that we can't leave. Our leadership team there, we have a board of 6 or 7 kids that grew up together in an orphanage and had this vision. They wanted to do what people have done for them. And you see this play out. This is back in the 80s when they shared this vision with our partner. And now those kids that are all on the board, they're all down there calling the shots. So they run it every day. So it's not dependent on us to be there making all these decisions day in and day out. We listen to our partners of what's needed, because I don't know the needs of these people in the community because I don't live there. And so we really need their feedback, and we need great leadership on the ground that can come back to us and say, hey, we can't fundraise, but this is what we need. Well, that's what we can do really well. We have a hospital that a kid that grew up in our orphanage went to medical school, became a doctor. and now he's running the Cheetah Medical Clinic that services over 1,000 people a month. We have a vocational school that we just opened this year, and we have water and sanitation going quite a bit. Haiti was absolutely essential in us being successful. The need is very obvious there, and we need to go down and learn a lot of lessons and have some great partners and mentors that could help us along the way before we could come back and really do what we need to do in St. Louis.
That's part one of our look at Brace for Impact's effort to change lives. We'll have part two after the break. Of course, other Cardinals are impacting their community too. See what they're up to by checking out our Cardinals in the Community playlist on YouTube. And we'll be right back. Before the break, we showed you how Kyle McClellan's charity Brace for Impact got going. Now let's take a look at part two of our profile, which begins with Brace for Impact's work in North St. Louis.
There's a lot of people that live here locally that don't understand the challenges that go on in the community we're in. And we have a great partner that has an amazing vision for community development. And he said, man, we really need, the people in the community need safe, stable housing. We met for about a year and put together this plan of what we want to do, and we go out and fundraise, and then we essentially just support them and allow them to hire the local contractors and do the things that they need to do, because they have to be the ones leading it for it to work. And it's been amazing to hear, you know, the stories of the growth and the development of these families, and you know, just kind of giving them the structure and the things that they need to go on and be successful. I often kind of wonder to myself, like, if I look back at my story and how it's all played out, you know, to be able to take this platform and the people that I've come across and the network I've been able to achieve, and go out and change the world, you know, and change our city, change the world, and just deliver a message of what we can do to all be better. And so I love that. I've been given that platform. It comes with a lot of responsibility, but you know, I'm excited that my wife and I have been chosen to kind of lead that.
Still to come,
That is how you do your sandwich.
dig into another installment of Card's Kitchen. That's when we return, so stay with us. There's nothing like the smell of the ballpark, and much of that aroma comes from great food. It's why we have a whole segment dedicated to those eats. Let's see what they're cooking up in the Card's Kitchen today.
This is Card's Kitchen. I'm Ben Holtmeyer. That's Executive Sous Chef, Chef Norman Taylor.
Good afternoon, good morning. How's everybody?
Doing swell so far. We're making food. What are we making?
Oh, look at this. You see what we got on here? This is sliced ribeye.
Love that
Now,
sound. Love the sound.
What could I be doing with sliced ribeye, you ask? Well, there's nothing better than to take a little sliced ribeye and make a great sliced ribeye steak sandwich.
Okay.
We are going to do a little better, and with a little seasoning on here, we're going to make Nana's hot Italian sandwich. Now, when's the last time you had a really good hot Italian beef sandwich?
That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't had this one yet, so.
Oh, you are amongst the first person to ever have this.
So what makes it known as an Italian beef sandwich?
Well, it's all the items that we add to it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little jus on here. See that? You hear that?
I like that sound.
Boy, that's your lunch getting ready to go, buddy. The seasonings, the beef, and of course, you cannot have a good Italian sandwich unless you have a little cheese on here.
Provolone, right?
Provolone cheese. Now, once we get this nice and hot and ready to go, we're gonna put this on a great Italian roll for you, which we get made locally. I know it's a great Italian roll because we get it made by our friends Fazio's up on the hill. Then you're gonna need to top it. Now,
Okay.
what we do here at Bush is when you come see us, you will be able to top it any way you want. Toppings will include julienne onions, julienne red peppers, and fresh jardiniere. You can come in, you can have yours with or without cheese. You can have yours with or without any of these toppings. We're gonna make sure that we melt your cheese good for you. Load it right up in that bun, look at that. And Ben, if you would help me out, let me have that. There you go. Now that is your hot Italian beef sandwich. You, sir, get to add a little bit of everything. Now,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the chef's choice here.
Okay.
You gotta put a little bit of everything on there.
A little
It's
bit
not
of
gonna be a great Italian sandwich unless you have a little bit of everything.
Jordanaire.
Jardiniere.
Finally got to say that.
Jardiniere is carrots, celery, other vegetables that have been pickled. So they got a little sweetness to it, a little tartness to it. You got your roasted red pepper in there, adds another great flavor to it. And some people will do sauteed onions. We're going to do ours raw. We got a better taste with that.
Better taste versus sauteed.
Better taste on this sandwich.
On this.
You cannot have a sandwich without a little chip. You know, we're gonna make this a meal for you. There you go. That is how you do your sandwich. Now remember, we also fry our chips in-house, so you get house fried potato chips with this sandwich.
This looks hard to eat. This thing's huge.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be able to manage.
I got a big mouth. It'll be fun.
All right, now, you gotta let everybody out there know just how good Nana sandwich is so they can know to come get it.
Make sure my cheese is on there. That's my bite right there.
Oh, look at you, you went in twice.
You know, that's a mouthful, and that's what it sounds like with a mouthful. That's for sure.
Oh, you know, everybody's Nana, when you come see Nana, she's gonna make sure you leave full.
That is the Nana's hot Italian beef
One
sandwich.
and only.
Beautiful. You can find that and many, many more great food items on the MLB Ballpark app in the Fan Food Guide. I'm Ben Holtmeyer, that's Chef Norman Taylor. We'll see you next time on
Come see
Card's
us.
Kitchen.
In just a bit, see how Whitey Herzog became manager and GM. It's a day that changed Cardinals history. Learn all about it after the break. Cardinal games are a summertime tradition, and while the bases are still 90 feet apart, the way you get into the game is changing. Tickets are now delivered exclusively through the MLB Ballpark app. And for instructions on how to get your digital tickets, visit cardinals.com/ballpark-app. And you'll learn how to download, share, and use your tickets all in one stop. Again, for all your ticketing needs, visit cardinals.com/ballpark-app. When Whitey Herzog was made manager and GM, it altered the course of the franchise, forever making the 1980s one of the winningest and most beloved eras in club history.
The date is August 26, 1980. First-year Cardinals manager Whitey Herzog had been on the job just a little over 2 months, but it was clear to him that he needed to remake the roster in order to formulate a winner. He wanted control over player transactions and in-game strategy, but needed a new title to do it. Whitey went to Grant's Farm to pitch his idea to owner Gussie Busch. Herzog asked to be made manager and GM while staying at the same salary. Gussie signed off, and Whitey became the first man to serve in both roles since Connie Mack in the 1950s. He wasted no time building a roster built on speed, pitching, and defense. At the 1980 winter meetings, Whitey took part in trades involving 16 different players. The most notable additions that winter were closer Bruce Sutter and catcher Darrell Porter. The next offseason, he was back at it, adding 2 to the outfield. One was 1980 Rookie of the Year contender Lonnie Smith. He also sent pitcher Bob Sykes to the New York Yankees for a mostly unknown Double-A outfielder named Willie McGee.
Well hit, way back. Listen to the reaction. Oh, boy. What a catch he made, Willie McGee. Willie McGee.
But the biggest trade came in December of '81 as Whitey snagged two-time reigning NL Gold Glove winner Ozzie Smith from the Padres. He finally had his winning roster, so 3 games into the '82 season, Whitey relinquished GM duties to Joe McDonald, a decision which paid off quite nicely.
A swing and a miss, and that's a winner! That's a winner! A World Series winner for the Cardinals!
August 26, 1980, the day Whitey became GM and manager, and a day that changed Cardinals history. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Mike Shannon will call his final Cards game this year, and we've been hearing tributes from some of Mike's famous friends. Today's comes from a fellow Golden voice and a longtime Dodger broadcaster, Vin Scully.
Hi, Mike. This is Vin Scully with the Dodgers. 50 years in the broadcasting booth, 9 years as a player, a great career for a great guy. Now it's time for you to join the rest of us in retirement. God bless. We wish you well.
And still to come, you ask, I answer. It's Ask Ozzie after the break.
There's nothing like the excitement of Cardinals baseball, and the 2021 Cardinals Media Guide makes sure you're ready for every moment. Learn all about your favorite players and rising prospects with bios, stats, and background info. It's your in-depth guidebook for the St. Louis Cardinals. Get yours at cardinals.com/media guide or at the Cardinals team store inside Busch Stadium. As another year of history unfolds, follow along using the 2021 official media guide. The St. Louis Cardinals. Fly.
It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Jamie in Kelville, Kentucky asks, have you ever been up in the arch? Yes, I have, and I am claustrophobic. That was one of the first things I did when I came to St. Louis, and in many ways it was terrifying. So if you haven't been up, check it out. The fact that it was the gateway to the West, and it's the thing that here in St. Louis, you know, they want to see the arch. And to have the opportunity to go up in it is very, very special, and I think it's one of those things that you have to do. I don't have to do it again because I'm claustrophobic, but it was fun. I had no idea when I got here that I'd be able to go up in it, and growing up in Southern California, it was one of the landmarks that I certainly wanted to take a look at, and I was excited to have the opportunity to go up in it and actually overlook the city from up high, and it's quite a view from up there. Thanks for the question, Jamie. If you want to submit a question, head to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. There's more still to come here on Cardinals Insider, so don't go anywhere. Cardinals Insider is a team effort, and that includes you. We'd love to hear from you. To get in touch with the show, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click on the Contact Us tab. And while you're there, you can rewatch old episodes and check out our podcast too. Welcome to another season of Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. It's all at cardinals.com/insider. Data has changed baseball on the field, and it's transforming how you watch it too. StatCast provides analytics on telecast and in-stadium replays, giving us greater context for the players' athleticism. Here are some numbers on a few standout plays from this season.
It's the arrival. I came in the league, went straight for the title. No time to idle. I'm finna get it, put that on the Bible. This is survival. Gotta treat every new day like the final.
Left center. Carlson over. He got it! Oh, what a catch by Carlson!
Asking why is he here like I shouldn't be. I've been on grind since I owe. 10,000 hours the motto. They see the bag is coming out, they flocking to
O'Neal hits it up the middle. O'Neal beats it out! The run scores!
Kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they're getting exposed. I know they be
Molina hits it out to left. Base hit. An opening day home run. Welcome to St. Louis, Nolan. Catch made. Throw to the plate. Goodbye. A strike from Dylan Carlson.
Hey, best keep distance. All of my haters send best of wishes. I get to the bag with
long fly ball into right center. This one may go. It's gone.
Goodbye. Home run. Yachty.
You ain't gonna go for it. Get out the way.
That's it for today. You can watch on this station each week or catch full episodes on YouTube. Plus, we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Until next time, I'm Ozzie Smith, and I'll see you next week.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.